Hello, everybody, and welcome to a episode of Picross S. You may be thinking, man, this seems like kind of a weird game to play as a Let's Play. Well, that's because this is going to be the first ever Chill Sunday video. So, for those who may not have watched some of my Mario Galaxy playthroughs at all, I did mention this in one of them. I kind of had this idea that every single Sunday I would do a video that was just a chill game, just something easy, something laid back, and I don't know, just something you can kind of pick up and put down at your leisure, that kind of thing. So I figured, why not do Picross? So I don't know, let's go, I guess. I'm not really sure the best way to talk about doing Picross, you know what I mean? Because, it's not necessarily something that's, for those who don't know, it's just kind of like a puzzle game. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where I'm not really sure what I'm going to say, but I guess we'll just kind of see how it goes. Welcome to the world of Picross. Let's start by going over Picross, rules and some tips in a tutorial. I actually already know what to do. So let's just do the first puzzle here. Select input method. I'll just do buttons because that I feel like that makes me feel better. Nah. No hints. Come on now, no hints. All right. So I guess I'll explain to people who don't know. Basically, these numbers up top, they indicate how many blocks you need to fill. So as you can see here, it's 3, 1 here, so that means it's 3, but then there's a space between them, and then 1. Same thing here, except it's opposite, where it's 1 and 3 in a line there, and that completes the puzzle. It's pretty chill. Yeah, I had this Chill Sunday idea like a long time ago. I just always kind of really dug this idea of doing videos that, I don't know, because a lot of times when people do stuff, I guess it's always like a series almost. Like there's always more to it than not. Like with the Mario Galaxy series or like my weekend main uploads, they're always going to be, like plot points, I guess, in the game, or I'm gonna, mention stuff from from past episodes. So I just like the idea that like Chill Sunday is something that you can kind of pick up and put down. Whoops. Yes, turn it off. I messed up. I was too excited talking. When it's something like this where it's like 2, you can't just place that anywhere. It's gotta because there's so much space in the block lineup, there's several different spots you could do it. Like for this one, we can obviously tell that that's how that space is going to be taken up. But now we know for sure that this is also an X because the 2 can either go up here or it can go down here, and it can kind of go either way. But no, I always kind of dug this idea of Let's Plays that, you didn't need to necessarily, I guess, do your homework, I guess you could say. Like you could kind of, pick it up, put it down, and you could kind of watch me play these games in any sort of in any sort of order, you know what I mean? Like you don't need to, watch them in a specific way. And 2, it gives me this real freedom to kind of just, I don't know, just kind of talk about whatever I want to talk about. And it doesn't necessarily have to follow what's going on in the game all too much. Alright, so that can't be there because then they'll be touching. So 1 and 1. Which means this is the 1 and 2 goes there. I'm assuming it's probably the same here. Not completely positive. I think actually, as you can tell too, there's always like a specific order to these things in the way that like the answer to the puzzle is usually some sort of picture. So sometimes there are times where you can kind of glean what the answer is going to be before you've even finished the puzzle. And there we go. Like in that one, I thought it was a flower. Like I thought the bottom was a pot, and then the top 3 would be some sort of like the flower petals. But as you can see, I was clearly wrong because it turned out to be a cupcake. So there's that. I'm actually gonna go in. Oh, whoops. Controller settings? No. There is a settings thing. Yeah, options. Because I want to turn off all the different hint and tip things. Because then that gives you a star on all the puzzles for not using any sort of assists. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to redo the ones I already did. Just to kind of get that assist. And to make it, I guess, look better. Then that way I feel more accomplished about my Picross skills in this video here. The one thing I don't really know about these, yeah, down in the right corner, no assist star. But something I'm not really sure, I guess, yet, as far as this whole Chill Sunday thing, is like the best way for me to upload them. Like if they'll be longer or shorter. I think I'll probably do this one a bit shorter, just because it's the first one, and I'm kind of gonna, I'm gonna play with it a little bit and just kind of see what people like best as far as, I don't know, watching me play a lot less intensive games, because I could definitely see this being something that like is a cool idea in theory, but turns out like to just have terrible actual application. Because it definitely could be one of those things where like it's like awesome and people really dig it, and it's like this cool idea of like something more chill. And I've mentioned this as well in another episode. I don't know of what video necessarily, but I like this idea of kind of people almost using this show as a podcast where you can literally just sit back and leave it on and just kind of almost have it as background noise. And this show especially, I think, really plays towards that idea of mine, because I just kind of dig the idea that these chill Sundays especially, people can definitely just put on in the background. Not that I don't want people to actually find what I'm playing interesting, or to, not that I don't want them to find the visual interesting, but I do like the idea that it can just kind of be something that is, I don't know, nice and easy to just have on and listen to. Alright, so we may be able to do this. Is this... Yeah, okay, perfect. Well then, that works here. X... Oh, perfect. And then, so these are clear here. This is one of those things, too, where some of these puzzles, especially the more difficult ones, need, like, I don't know, would need me to pay kind of close attention to what I'm doing. So I'm kind of curious how, I'm extra curious how Picross especially is going to come across, especially if I keep playing it over time. Because again, that's the idea, I'll reiterate, that's, like I said, that's kind of the idea, is that like I can kind of play it and you don't have to worry about seeing every episode of me playing Picross, because it's not that big a deal if you don't see them all. So I do dig that idea of that, like I said before. But it's one of those things where it's like, how often will I really come back to that game in the same vein, where it's like, if it's not all that important, I guess, necessarily, that I come back to the game. I don't know, is it cognizant? I don't know if that's the right word. Is it a smart idea for me to keep coming back to that game specifically? I guess it'll just kind of depend on what you guys like to see. Also, another thing that's kind of funny is, so this video I'm recording right now is going to be coming out literally later today, because I am filming it late at night, and technically it is the Sunday that is going to be coming out, and I have kind of already dropped the ball as far as recording's concerned, which is not a great look. It's not like, I mean, no one would have known that had I not just mentioned it. But it's one of those things where it's just so funny to me that I was like, you know what? I'll just wait to record this video until literally, technically speaking, the day of. Because it's past midnight. Like, I'm literally planning on very quickly, like, like very quickly uploading all this stuff and editing it all like after I'm done recording this. So hopefully another thing we can count on is that I am more consistent with recording them, not right before they need to come out. So there's that. Not, like I said, not a super awesome look for me, but hey, I mean, it's getting done, right? That's what matters most. All right, so this is a fiver, four, and 3. Oh man, Picross is one of those things where, so my dad and my younger sister are like humongous Picross fans, more so than I am. Like I find the games perfectly fun, but it's one of those things where I am just like, oh my god, see what I'm see what I'm talking about. Um, as far as the long run's concerned, I just feel like when the puzzles start to get significantly harder, I just have this like difficulty, um, almost like grasping the puzzles, which is strange. But just for some reason, like I guess I just have difficulty like really grasping it, and it gets almost overwhelming to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm not really having fun anymore, and that's not a great thing to have happen when you're trying to play a video game. Like, you know, clearly the intent is that you're still having fun, and I just start to get like, this is so obnoxious, you know, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And there are plenty of times to where I think I'm doing it right, and it turns out by the end of the puzzle that I was actually wrong the entire time, and that's not a fun situation to have either. I mean, some people love the, you know, puzzle games more than anything, and that's like the only video games they play, and that's one of those things. To each their own, right? Um, but yeah, just like when puzzle games especially start to get to a certain difficulty spike, as they all do to keep them engaging and interesting, I start to kind of, I don't know, have a difficulty sticking with them for sure. All right, so this is 7. This is connected. Oh, I guess that's the rest of it. Again, I guess this first episode here of Chill Sunday, this first Chill Sunday episode could very well be the only one, if I'm being completely honest, because it's one of those things where I just don't, like I said before, and I just want to say it again because it's very much on my mind, is that this definitely could be something that only happens once, and I kind of plan on getting some people's feedback after initially uploading this, because I'm worried that in theory this idea of something more relaxed is really fun, but there's definitely this idea creeping in my mind, like so far this entire time I've been recording, that this is gonna suck terribly. So, you know, make your opinion known once this comes out. Make your opinion known for sure. Okay, something cool here, again, if you don't really know these types of puzzles, is that when you have something like here where it's 9, since it can't go all the way across, but I don't necessarily know where it's going to end, but it will end on one end here, I can literally fill in the entire middle except for the ends, because I know for certain that that middle chunk will be filled, which is kind of cool. All right. See what I mean? Like, even now, I'm getting a little flustered. I'm not going to lie. Because it's the same thing, like I was just saying, is it's like, I don't know, I just don't feel confident in my abilities to solve this. Which I guess is kind of sad, but it's true. I just do not feel confident in my ability to do this successfully, as well as I think there's that added pressure of like, oh, you're doing this with the intent to distribute it. I don't know if that's necessarily the right word, but like to put it out on the internet for people to view. And, you know, there's no guarantee that literally anyone will watch this, but there is a certain likelihood that at least one person will. And, you know, kind of scary. Kind of scary to think about. All right, so this oneer here, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there'll be an X right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this literally can't be anything except for the beginning of the 7. So there's that. It's a good thing to know. Yeah, this is one of those things where counting and at least simple math skills is necessary, because otherwise you will definitely get to the point that I get to sometimes, significantly faster. Alright, so this only could be a 1. It's gotta connect. Bam, 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 and 1. There we go. Submarine, calling it. What did I say? What did I freaking say? I also feel like, you know, this is one of those things where I feel less prepared to talk during this video, even more than I would feel recording almost anything else. Again, that's another thing I've already kind of mentioned here, but it's just like not super conducive to commentary. But again, this is kind of just an experimental run. All right. So this too is something we can do here, which is kind of cool. Is if you count from these blocks down, you can see where they could very potentially land. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if it starts at that top block, it will end here, meaning there's no way it's going to reach here. So that can be X'd. Same thing here. What we can do is, or I guess there is a possibility that it's going to go up to here. So we can also see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we know that these 3 here are also going to be hit no matter what. Because even if like 2 more were up here, they would fill into here. And if it started here, then they would fill in all the way to here. So no matter what, these are going to be filled. Which means I can block out either sides of these guys because they can only be single in that row. Which is another good thing to find out early here. In this row, I can actually do the exact same thing because it starts and ends in the same spot, and it's also a 7. Which means I can also block out either sides of this again, but due to the fact that there's space on this side, there's not really much I can do, because this could be the last, or it could be the second. More likely than not, it's the last, and the second exists somewhere in these 3 spaces, but there's no confident way of knowing that yet. And then this guy, because he's blocked on the bottom, this has to be the 3, because there's nowhere else for the 2 to go. And here, this would mean that this is blocked out, because there's no way of reaching that with a 5. Which means that this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's no way he'll reach these. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning I can block in all 4 of those. There was something else I caught. I can't really... Oh, I can fill in these 4 as well. Which means this is finished, which is nice. And that also means these rows are completely done. And it also turned out I was completely wrong about that 1, and it was actually the second one. Well, see what I mean? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to my opinions on this game at all. Alright, so that's the entire 5, which is nice, which allows us to deduce that this 2's there, meaning that 3 ends there. I apologize, there may be a noise in the background. There's a train going by. Where I live, there's a train tracks pretty close by, and I'm just now noticing the windows open. So hopefully that noise is not too terribly annoying for anyone watching. All right. Where best to go here? I feel a tad under-equipped, I guess. Oh, I guess this has to be there, and that has to be there. Nice. That worked out. I mean, that goes there. Clears out that. That must go there. Oh, there we go. I guess I did know. Okay, hold on a sec. I'm actually going to close that window. That's just one of those things where it's best to just close it, even if you can't really hear it. Due to the fact that you possibly could hear it, it's better to close it than not. Alright, what are we looking at here? So we're clearing the entire bottom, which is great, because now we know that the 1s here are there, and then there's a 2 here, but also that there's a 5 here, which is nice, because then the margin for that 2 is pretty small, meaning it must hit here, and that allows us, to fill in this entire 8, which is nice. Which also allows us to do this. This is a little mysterious. Kind of mysterious the whole way down, which is a bummer. Alright, let's see here. Well, this is not mysterious. That could be cleared out. Oh, this can be too, so that's good. This is 7 here, and this is 8 here, which is good. Meaning the 6 is good there. And what else we got? What else we got here? Okay, so this can literally be X'd out all the way down here, because the 2 can only exist in these very small sub areas. Meaning that that's blocked, that's the 2 there, and that's the 2 there. Meaning this is finished. Nope, that goes all the way to the end. Meaning, boing. There we go. Not too bad. I am thoroughly impressed with us. Alright, I think my plan is to finish this entire page and we'll call it a quits on this episode. Unless it's taken too terribly long, but I think that's a good benchmark. We'll just do this first whole page here. So that's the whole tenor there. Which it's always nice to feel like we have something moving confidently right off the bat. That's always a good look for us. 2 there, 6 there, 5 here, and 4 here to complete this entire line. And that's all good there. So I could also do the 7 trick here, which leaves 3 open on either side, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's kind of just like the ends on either side get covered up here, but also you can just kind of use, I mean, mathematically what it is, because 7, it's going to be 3 on either side, 8 will be 2, 9, 1, etc. This is only one more 6, so it would be only these 2 would be covered up. And this guy here, I can actually figure some stuff out here. This is nice. 4 there, and then that's the 2, that's the 1. 5 there, 4 there. 2, block that out. 6 here. 5, 6, 7. What else we got here? That would have to connect. 2, 4, 5, 6. So the 7 could be here, but it also could be here. So that's good there. Blocking a lot of that. That's finished there, meaning the rest of the 7. 9 is still... Oh, so 9 is not mysterious, because 4, 5, 6, 7, and we can block these out, meaning that this can go there. Also meaning that we can block this out, just because the 8, no matter what, is going to end at one of those 2 spots there. And we can actually figure that out now, so that's kind of nice. Oh, shoot, did I mess it up? I think I did. Yeah, whoops. Oh, I definitely messed something up. Hold on. I think it's this guy. Yeah, because that fixes that 6, so that means this 7 goes here. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to embarrass myself, jeez. So 4 gets finished there, that gets covered. I just decided that the main way to commentate on this is just to say out loud what I'm doing in the puzzle. I feel like that's just the best way to go about it. What did we make? Oh, a sunrise. That's nice. I like that. Yeah, I haven't even commented on that. We made some cool stuff. We made a light plug. Okay, that's like the least cool one. An hourglass iron teapot. I like the shooting star and the sunrise. I like the ones that are a little more involved on what they are. You know, there's not, I don't know. The other ones are pretty, that's just like, oh, here's this simplistic thing. But other ones like, here's straight up just a sunrise. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. All right, so do our little tricks with the 9. We can also do, oh, okay. So, you know, I'm not going to embarrass myself again. So how about I just stick to the easy stuff, because having to count or talk is making it a little more difficult. Alright, so we can cover those guys, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay, so that's covered there. Meaning that this is covered and 4 is there. Meaning that this has an X, this has an X. This is not guaranteed quite yet. This is, so that's nice. That's good. Yeah, there's oftentimes a lot of patterns along these things, especially when whatever we're trying to, you know, draw, I guess, has sort of a symmetrical shape. Alright, so those are good. That means this whole row's finished, which is nice. And then the 5 can only be on either sides of that. 7 could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it couldn't be there. So it can't be this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I can cover up those, which is nice as well. We're getting places, we're getting places. And these all have to connect. So that's good. This is 4. 2 can really only be one of these 2 spots here. This is completely finished here, which is nice. Yeah, that goes there. Meaning we can recontextualize that space. What to do, what to do? Oh, 5. Boom. 1. Nope, wrong. Incorrect, actually. completely off base there. Alright, here. Oh, 2 goes there, 1 goes there. X that guy out. 5 has to be completed there. Making the 8 completed, 5 gets completed there, and so does 7. Nice. See, look at that. See, we're all almost at half an hour, and the time just flew by. See what I mean? This Chill Sunday thing, maybe it's working. Maybe it's working. Maybe it's working. And it's kind of cathartic, almost, for me to do this, because there's a certain level of, I guess, stress that comes with the more intense versions of these videos, where I have to, like, I don't know, where it's more involved, that the game is more involved. Doing something chill like this, it makes things a lot easier in that regard, for sure. Because I do not have to worry about, like, I don't know, like the commentary can be very, very chill, very relaxed, and I don't have to worry too much about what it is I'm actually saying. Like, you can excuse the commentary not being great just because of what's happening. It's like, all right, he's trying to commentate on, you know, Picross. We'll give him a break. We'll give him a pass. We'll give him a pass on this one. All right. So this is kind of all we know so far, it looks like. 4 there. Oh, that means there's 4 here. 5 there. 3 could go in one of those 2 spaces, we know for sure. Same thing here, I believe. Or no. Only this one's guaranteed. Huh. What to do, what to do. That's an X there, that's a 2 there. Meaning 7 goes the rest of the way that way. And again, we can recontextualize the space here. This gets covered up here. That's the end of the 2. That's the top of the 7. That's the 2 there. That's the top of the 1 that finishes these rows. Meaning 8's there. Meaning, oh, whoops. Meaning 8's done there. This is a 6 here, so that goes all the way across. 3, 2. I don't want to say I was wrong about what I said before, but maybe I'm amazing. Maybe I'm just the perfect Picross player, and I can do no wrong. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's very possible. It's very impossible, actually. Don't trust me ever. Don't trust anything I say, please. So that's nice about this 8-1 is that, like, due to the 10 by 10 grid, we know for sure that that's what this is going to look like, which is really nice for us. 2's there, 3 there, 3 there, 3 there. 8 goes down that way. 3 and 2 can be either of these guys, so we do not know that confidently quite yet. Alright, we know those are for sure. This guy's a 9, so it's going to go all the way through there. Right, and this is another one of those 8-1ers, so we know it's going to look like that. Nice. Alright, so that means... Oh, that didn't really change much in that regard. I thought it did. I was wrong. Alright, that X's all that out, meaning 9 goes here. 2 is there. Alright. Right, we know that for sure. And this 5 is a little tricky, but who freaking knows? Not me, clearly. This has to be the 3, I believe. And then that one, there one. Right, that means that 1-6 is good, which is nice for us. This 1 is sort of hilarious, because it could literally go anywhere and it still be correct. Alright, that's an X there, meaning that covers the 5, and that 1 is there. So, no longer hilarious, we know the answer. That 6 gets covered there, that means that 3 is done there. I mean, that 5 we finally have the answer to. That 6 connects there, 3 there. 5 gets finished there, and 5 gets finished there. Look at that. Look at that. We've got a cute little butterfly now. You know, I just realized something. I keep saying that I have no idea what to commentate on, which is probably getting annoying at this point that I keep saying that. But I just realized that I was somewhat contradicting myself, like, oh, this is the kind of thing you can put on the background and just listen to. But who wants to listen to me and not pay attention to what I'm doing as I just say, that there, this goes there, that there, this here. Jesus Christ. I just realized how short-sighted of a thing to say that was. Yikes. Wow. There's no way. Well, maybe future. There we go. That's the answer. Future episodes of Chill Sunday. Then those ones you can put on in the background and just listen to, because those ones will have something actually worthwhile to say. Those ones will actually say something, smart and worthwhile, instead of just that there, this here, that there, and counting. Yikes. Oh my gosh. Well, what an oversight on my part. So, sorry about that. Sorry to anyone who was excited to have this on in the background. But hey, I mean, maybe it still works for you. Maybe me just prattling on about, I don't know where I'm putting the pieces. Maybe that works for you. Maybe that's working for you. I don't know. Yikes. That's just it's like almost embarrassing. I don't even know what to do now. After I've gotten that idea in my head. That is just, I don't know, it's beyond saving, really. Alright, so that's good to go there, which is nice. Yeah, I'm just going to keep doing it. I've gone too far at this point. This is one of those ones I think, and are just not really, I guess, paying attention, really. I solved it. I wasn't paying much attention when I was doing at the end there for that puzzle. And we made a cute little harp, so, I mean, it worked out. Alright, and that means we no assisted starred this entire first page, which is awesome. Alright, so I'm going to call it quits there, over half an hour at this point. Like I said, it went by pretty fast, which is nice. Thank you so much for watching, if you did. Like I said, this is the very first Chill Sunday, which is, again, kind of what I hope to put out every single Sunday. But again, it's also kind of experiment, it may be good in concept, but bad in practice. It may be, it's just boring, you don't really know. But this is the first, potentially only, Chill Sunday, but, once again, I do plan on doing more. So, thank you so much for joining me on this very laid back, generic white guy plays Picross video. So, thank you very much. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.